How we doing? Okay, so all right, I'm actually just making another short little video here to explain a few things, and one of the things is that there are going to be stalking, harassment, grand larceny charges, and also attempted murder charges going. These are going to the Rothschild's family. This is a family that has stalked and harassed me over my genetics because I have a genetic monopoly, and they don't want this getting out. There's been several families and several interests that have tried to get this information from getting out, and they've tried to argue with me. They've tried to argue with me about a lot of different things, and one of those things is the quality of my genetics. And I've always been a very super robust person. I have a lot of abnormal aptitudes that other people would typically call paranormal, and these are things that will be coming to light. I do have proofs for these. I also have a proof to what I believe to be what I believe to be a proof to intelligent design, and this has to do with the pentagram that I have discovered in my head. That is an artifact that has ancient Aramaic on it. I did not know ancient Aramaic prior to this, so it just kind of like, you know, pop. There's my car right there. So just letting the Rothschilds know you got beat. You got your asses beat by somebody who sleeps in the back of their car. So I found this artifact back in 2013, 2014 inside of my head through a transcendental meditative process, and in doing so, like I saw a grid over the earth and whatnot, so on and so forth. I can kind of talk about that and explain that later, but in any case, I found this artifact, and it has an interchangeable language upon it, and this language isn't a language that I had not seen before prior to seeing the pentagram. So this Unicursal Pentagram that I do have, it's not a facet of art. It is literally like an artifact in which we can go in and read it, and would need historians to do so, because I'm not really familiar with the processing of ancient Aramaic language. So you know, just to be real about this, they tried to sweep me up in a lot of different things. One of the things this family tried to do is hold me ransom for my genetic material, because I have a lot of different gene anomalies. So I'm going to have a gene monopoly on several different traits. One of them is an overabundance of stem cells, which gives me a 150-year maximum lifespan. I do have overabundance of antigens and overabundance of leukocytes. And there's a few other things. I'm highly resistant to cancer and radiation. I've been irradiated for 6 years due to a mistake made, and I've also been attacked with autonomous weapon systems. I've been attacked with bioweapons, and which I can name. I can name it at a later date. I won't mention too much too soon right now, just because it can get a little bit dicey. So we're going to kind of we will progress through this piece by piece, and this is somewhat tabulated here, and it's in others all around. So just to know, this is all a team effort. We're not gonna. I don't accomplish any of these problems by myself, and I don't have any sort of tendency towards believing that I do. So with the processing of all these hearings, they have been trying to hold Daisy Isabel Jazz Ridley from Ophelia hostage in part of this, and one of those is one of the ways. And this is not just her, by the way. This is multiple women they've done this with, but this one is probably the most clear-cut example, because this one was one that I had a sort of interconnective link with, and they happened to damage my brain because they wanted to damage it, because some of their family members had a problem with this, and really this is not their place to be saying anything. Now, I will say that I have a bunch of abnormal aptitudes. Once again, these things are psychisms. I do have proof of this as tests. My ex-girlfriend, I did telepathy tests with her where I'd guess the cards, and I guess them all right. So I've done this in a series, and I've guessed a lot of cards all at once. So these are like the budding, the budding areas of fields that are not typically talked about within the masses of society, or around the masses, the mass population of society. It is safe for like a private few. In any case, these individuals have attacked me for a very long time, and they have a lot of like really heavy charges coming their way. They have tried to hold this particular actress hostage, like inside of her head. They've done a lot of different things to her, trying to experiment on her. They've tried to modify her genes. They've tried to edit and modify her brain. They've done the same thing, tried to modify my genes, tried to modify my brain. They've done it to a lot of people. So this is not okay. It's not okay to just do these things, and there's going to be a lot of huge debates coming up and hitting hitting a worldwide level because of what these people are doing, and thinking that they can just experiment on people simply because they have the money to do so. So I don't really believe that wealth belongs in the hands of individuals who are not responsible. And these people in particular, the Rothschilds family, they are just outright, I mean, they're outright malicious. They have indeed malicious intent, legal term. And look, you know, I know my ABCs, right? Let's get so fundamental that I have to be basic with you. So I really don't like the way I was treated. In fact, I despise it. I don't like how this family has talked up, and I'm Jewish, by the way. I do have a certain amount of, part of my blood is Jewish, so I'm about 8 to 14% Jewish. The rest I'm like German and Spanish. In any case, I don't like how they've talked to me, and they've tried to talk down to me. They've acted, I mean, they've been gloating, sort of you know, within the realms of their pomposity, which is a grand scheme, it would appear. And you know, I have reason to believe that this family is actually involved in a giant ploy, a genocidal ploy. So we will move on into those pieces a little bit later, but this is going to be handled scientifically. There's going to be like a lot of sit downs that are going to happen. We're going to have to like talk about what is really going on with this, because I don't feel that it's fair to just have someone come up into my life and simply decide, hey, I can try to lower your intelligence, or I can damage your reproductive organs, which that did happen in the process. I have one severed vas deferens, which is being kept alive. One of my testicles being kept alive by nanotech. They tried to shrink my penis with nano by making sure I don't have proper blood flow to my genitals. They in fact have tried to affect the blood flow across my entire bodily carriage, and they've done this a lot with like lowering my physical strength, affecting my muscles, because I'm very, very physically strong. And also they've tried to mess with my intelligence. They've tried to cap off my imagination. They try to steal my imagination. People have tried to loot me. I mean, a whole gang of people, a very specific set of Satanists have tried to steal from me. And this was an attempt at a heist in trying to steal my pentagram. Now, this family said that the Unicursal Pentagram belongs to the Jewish family because I am Jewish too, so I belong to them. I don't think so. This is not something I agree with. I'm not a racist, even though I'm using the Jewish family and it would appear to be in a derogatory way, but I am not. I am just sick of how much harassment I've gotten over all the rarities that I have contained within me. So I will go ahead and stop here, and I'll make some more videos later detailing some other additional things, but for right now, I think this is probably sufficient to tell you, you need to fuck off.